It's the Weather Blender blog for the 23rd of January. It's Sunday, heading into Monday. Hi, everybody. Spencer Adkins here with you. Lots of talk, lots of questions, lots of rumors swirling around about a big storm that may or may not be. So let's not waste time. Let's jump right to it and check out the pretty pictures. And here we go. Starting off with a look at the satellite, the radar, the surface maps. You see a little weak high pressure over Indiana and Ohio, but you also see a little blip of blue, some flurries in southern West Virginia. This was earlier on Sunday. An area of low pressure out south of Kansas City, and we see some snow kicking up from that. Now remember, the combination of the high and the low is going to be interesting, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But the low that we're awaiting actually is just a little bit out of the picture to the south. Now, let's jump ahead, and what I'm showing you here is actually a model projection. It just looks exactly the same as the radar and the satellite, so that it looks a little bit more like what you would expect to see on your weather map. High pressure up across New England, clear and cold there, dry air pressing in to southern West Virginia, and you can see, again, a little blip of blue there. So some morning light snow showers, flurries possible as that air is converging with air coming up from the south, wrapping around the east side of that low that is now south of Chicago, south of St. Louis. And I've circled in yellow the big low that we're concerned about down around Brownsville, Texas. So again, we could see Monday morning, little light scattered snow, just something to kind of look at. I think obviously anytime it snows, it could be slick in our neighborhood. We're jumping out now to Monday, 7 p.m. We have a little warm front going through. Lots of yellow here, I know. The low is kind of shifted. The northern low has kind of shifted the center of that up toward Lake Superior. The high is shifted off to the east coast. It's still putting some dry air in. That could be a very important influence for us. Cold front up to the west. It stretches east of Chicago and St. Louis. And so there's a little precipitation here on Monday. Could be some light rain stretching across Kentucky, maybe some light snow showers out of all that across Ohio. But this is all light stuff, and this is not the main event. The main event is still to come down around Brownsville, Texas. A little different map here. Now we're taking it out to, this is Tuesday night. Some high pressure has developed now across Ohio, across Illinois. Now, could this set up a wall of dry air? That could be very, very important. Could you see something like the red line that I've drawn in there? And again, this is by Tuesday night. Now the surface low has moved on over to the Florida Panhandle at the surface. And remember that lows, as they develop, stack like the Leaning Tower of Pisa back toward the cold air. So the surface low is always going to be east, probably southeast of the upper low. So now I'm showing you those upper lows. We're at Wednesday morning, and we'll go side-by-side comparisons here. And you're going to think, wow, this is fantastic. The NAM model on the left, GFS on the right. We're looking at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet. And all you really need to know here is the U-shapes are areas of low pressure, the black lines. And all the red and oranges, that's what we call vorticity. And we're seeing X, it's a vorticity maximum. And where you have maximum vorticity, you tend to see lift. And that's the upper center of the storm, if you will. And you can see it's right over southern Alabama in the morning on the NAM model, and maybe just a little bit to the eastern Alabama, but that's still very good side-by-side placement. And so you expect to see at the surface the same kind of thing. Red dashed lines means if you have precipitation there, it's rain. Blue dashed lines, if you have precipitation there, it's snow. And this is Wednesday, 7 a.m., and you're looking at maybe some rain just out the Bluefield. And it looks like if you're looking for snow, you're actually looking back toward Memphis. And you're looking back toward, well, north of Birmingham, toward Huntsville, and you're looking back into Mississippi. Now that's on the NAM model. Not quite as cold. So look on the GFS model. Just has some rain out in that direction. So that's a bad detail in that. But the center of the low is actually very, very close. And then we go out in time upstairs, 500 millibars, NAM, 7 p.m. Wednesday, shifts the center of that vorticity maximum out to eastern North Carolina. Same thing on the GFS. Again, great placement, but there's still the U-shaped lines there across Indiana, Ohio, and both of these models. That's the trough. So you would expect to see more lift. The bullseye, though, is along the East Carolina coast right there. And at the surface, again, we see that the surface lows, good placement on both of those models with a little light snow maybe now across southern West Virginia, back even all the way to Huntington. And it looks like that blue dashed line on the GFS is right along I-79. So it could be a mix to some rain east of that with very little precipitation to the west. Remember that dry air I talked about? Maybe that's our dry wall setting up. Now this is what blows your mind. When you jump out ahead and you say, great, we got two models that agree with each other, phenomenal. Well, we have two models that also agree with each other that go a completely different way. First of all, they're faster by about a day here. Model 1 on the left shows the rain-snow line right on the Ohio River and has the precipitation already here, the center of the low, pretty much over South Carolina. Model number 2 has that rain snow line actually over, let's say, Columbus. So it's all rain for West Virginia, for Eastern Kentucky, for Southwest Virginia. So again, this is a completely different look. Has a lot more precipitation along the East Coast. Maybe that's a little extreme. This is 7 p.m. on those same two models now. Again, you see snow wrapping back in across West Virginia. You see on model number 2, a lot of snow wrapping back in for West Virginia. That would be heavy, wet snow. That could be an issue if that model was right. But I think it looks so dramatic to me that that probably is the outlier. And so we'll keep it as just a possibility in the back of our minds. This tends to line up pretty good. Model number 2, Thursday 7 a.m. actually lines up pretty well with what we call upslope snow, the wrapping around of the moisture coming in, counterclockwise flow, getting some moisture still off the Great Lakes. And so there could be some light snow left over. Model number 2 on the right there. Model number 1 dries things out pretty quickly. And this is the GFS Thursday morning. That's the same time frame. See the lows off the coast? That's just some wraparound snow, very light stuff. So that is in agreement. But man, that model number 2 is pretty extreme. Not sure about that. NAM snow, so if the NAM was right and the GFS were right, this is the kind of stripe of snow you would see. Boy, not as dramatic as what people are talking about, right? We're hearing all these rumors of this, that, blizzard, all. Probably not unless maybe you're a little bit farther to the north. But anyhow, this is the NAM look at things through 7 o'clock Wednesday. 1 to 2 inches of snow in the mountains of West Virginia. And then you move into, well, Bland County, Giles County, Tazewell County, eastern sections, and now you're up to 2 to 4 inches of snow there. And then down in through the North Carolina mountains with just about nothing. Charleston, Huntington, or out toward Columbus. The GFS kind of confirms that. It's the same type of look right there. Interesting to note, though, that the GFS also throws in some freezing rain, and that is for Mercer County and Monroe County and down through I-77 and back down toward Asheville. So that's interesting to note. And just something else to think about, one of the long-range models just for kicks. I wanted to share this one with you, another southern storm system. And that one puts out a ton of snow. That's February 2nd. But that's just an idea. So, which one do you pick? At this point, you monitor. That's pretty much what you do. I tend to really like the agreement between the GFS and the NAM, pulling that system to the south, pulling it to the east. But there's nothing that says that, again, those models may not have a bias that pushes it too far south and east. So those are your options. The timing is either goes to the south and it's barely anything for most of us, or it's a Wednesday kind of a deal with some wet snow on the front end of that and then just some light snow on the back end of that. So we'll keep you posted. We'll certainly let you know, but if you're in West Virginia, if you're in southern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, southwestern Virginia, really it looks like Wednesday is the main event no matter what. And then Thursday we're left with the leftovers. So don't let the rumors get you down or freaked out ever. We'll keep you posted with the real deal right here on the Weather Blender blog.